that a creator is just a logical consequence?
What way do you mean unique?
Not like anything else.
Trees, rivers,
Unique.
Snow. Very unique. Cool place.
There's the Earth, and nothing's like the Earth. And when you look up in the sky, none of those things are like the Earth. They don't look like the Earth. They don't act like the Earth. Like, there's no similarities.
Zero.
I mean, in some ways, there's some similarities. In a lot of ways, there are differences.
You had your
but there are
chance,
some
Simple
things in
Jack.
common.
Can you give one? Can you give one similar thing you can observe?
I mean, they both exist in reality.
Everything is similar.
Yeah, I mean,
like trees and dolphins and dolphins in space. Cool, man.
Well, dolphins and Mars are similar.
I don't think there's dolphins in space.
There's no dolphins in space, man. Come on. There's
Probably
dolphins.
not in just space.
What about seagulls? You guys seagulls up there?
Well, hang on. If you think Earth is in space and seagulls and dolphins are on Earth, then by proxy they are in space.
Right. That's what you have to conclude, my friend.
Repeat what you said.
You got to conclude it. Finish it.
Is Earth in space? Is Earth in space to you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and everything on Earth is in space by necessity.
Dolphins.
I guess, yeah, you could say that, yeah.
So therefore, everything is similar because it's in space.
Yeah, at least as far as we can tell, yeah.
That's retarded, man.
That's retarded, bro.
Why is it retarded?
We are all astronauts on a giant spaceship called Earth.
In space.
Hey, I
The
wrote
Earth is actually a turtle.
My Earth goes 1.5 million miles per hour.
Why you think it's retarded, or you just is that as far as your logic goes?
Yeah, it's like
say that's
retarded. It's like in math saying that the getting the common denominator is 1. Right?
This is above my pay grade.
Why is it like that? Can you explain?
That's the similarity, because everything is similar because it's in space. That's why it's retarded.
I mean, that is a similarity.
Oh my
God.
God.
Everything that we perceive to exist exists, and I guess that's a similarity because we perceive its existence. But that's where it ends.
Certain things we perceive do not exist.
Oh, okay.
What?
Like a hallucination.
Like what? What do you say?
Like a hallucination.
That does exist.
Brain in the jar guy here. Damn it.
You can perceive a hallucination. It doesn't make it real.
Yeah, but it exists.
No. That's different. That's different. It's a different thing. Existence.
What do you mean by exist? Existence entails that it actually exists within reality. If it's just a thought or
not all things that exist are not all things that exist are physical.
All things that exist are physical. Is that what you said?
No, I said they are not.
Okay, so you're saying certain things can exist and be like non-physical?
Non-physical. Yeah.
Okay, how would you prove their existence?
By talking about them, right?
Thoughts.
So,
they're called
talking about something is not proof.
Anything within the transcendental categories, like the laws of logic, fucking mathematics, those things.
The problem is that you can't substantiate any of that.
I can't substantiate mathematics or the laws of logic?
You can't substantiate like a hallucination. You can't say it's real. It's non-physical. You can't prove that.
Well, you can. You can believe
you can't prove subjective things, obviously.
Sure, you can prove things that are subjective. It's just a matter of you can't prove certain things that are subjective.
Okay, if it's subjective, it can't be proven by definition.
No, I don't think that's the
because
definition
things
of
that
subjectivity.
things that are proven are objective, and things that subjective things can't be proven. Because you cannot use deductive logic to prove the subjective thing because they're not universal. It's unique to an individual.
I mean, I guess it depends on how stringent you want to be. You can generally provide like a good justification, a solid justification for something
Okay, I'll get
that's
justification. Does it not?
subjective.
Yeah, but justification is not proof.
Right, but you said earlier that you could say we're talking about something and that makes it real.
No,
So
no,
now
no,
it sounds
no,
like you're
It's
agreeing
not
with
what I
me.
said. You just didn't understand what I was saying. I didn't say
Okay, so then what did you
talking about
say?
something doesn't make it real. I said, how can I prove the existence that things exist that are not physical? And I said,
You
I can
can't.
talk about them. The mere fact I can talk about them proves they exist.
No,
So
because
the
you
laws of
defined
logic,
existence as
okay, the
something that
laws of
has to be
logic,
physical.
the laws of logic have the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle. The very act of talking and telling you about them and you comprehending them proves they exist because you would have to use them to argue against them.
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay,
Fire,
every word you mean then
fire's
is
hot.
gibberish because each word you use has no definition because it would violate the law of because you said the law of identity doesn't exist. So
Okay.
when you say something, every word you say actually has some alternate meaning, and you're talking Jabberwocky.
I mean, if that's how you want to
That's what
interpret
it
it, that's
has
up to
to
you.
be. The law of identity, dude. What do you think it
I mean,
is?
everybody else is understanding me, so maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a you thing.
Yeah, because you're using the law of identity.
Okay,
And we're
can you
all using
point
it.
it out to me? Can you show me where the law of identity is?
Yeah,
Can you
you
prove
just
it to
said a
me that
bunch
it
of
exists?
words, and each one of those words has a meaning that identifies the word, right? So it has an identity. You said, can you point out? You didn't, but that doesn't mean red, blue, cheese, burger, right? Because if the
No.
law of identity didn't exist, each one of those words could just mean anything. They'd have no identity within themselves,
I
right? The
like
very fact you're using words proves the law of
Laws.
identity.
You're being you're looking at it from the opposite perspective. Like we create laws to describe phenomenon that we observe. We don't identify laws and then
None of what
reality
you say
comports to them.
makes sense without the law of identity existing.
Yeah, the law of identity is an observation
And he
of a
just keeps
phenomena. It is
arguing
not
using the
that
law of
phenomena.
identity. You're arguing using the law of identity to even make a
No,
sentence.
I'm not. You're just not understanding.
How? What does the word understand mean?
You're just not
What
understanding.
does the word understand mean?
To
overstand.
comprehend something?
Okay, so it has an identity.
Okay.
Yeah, you just use the law of identity.
Yeah, but you're still not getting it.
It
See,
doesn't mean comprehend and
you're thinking that like because there is a law of identity that it actually exists. You're not understanding that the law of identity is a description of a phenomenon of something that we see.
it's not a description.
It's not
Description
a
of what?
description. A law of
Description of
identity
what?
is not a description. That's your claim?
Description of what?
You're wait,
What?
hold on. I need
What
you
is
to
it?
I need to
What
nail you
does it
down on something.
describe, dude?
Is the law of identity a descriptive claim? Is that what you're saying? It's not a descriptive claim?
It's a law of logic.
So it's not a descriptive claim. Can you
No,
just
it's a law of
Okay.
logic.
All right. Well, yeah, I disagree with you. There's
They're
no
not
need to keep
laws, right?
discussing this with you.
You can
You
disagree all you
obviously
want. Your words don't
Yeah,
mean anything
you have like a total
because you're in
you
a
have a totally
performative
like weird
contradiction.
worldview. I'm not
No,
gonna
it's not a
argue with
weird
you.
worldview. It's called the
I'm not gonna argue
transcendental
with you. There's
argument.
no point.
It's the transcendental
We have
argument,
different
dude. You're
we have
refuted
different
by your performative
definitions of these
contradiction.
terms, I guess.
You're refuted by your performative contradiction.
I'm not gonna argue with you, bro. Like you don't make any
Your
sense
words
though.
don't mean anything if you're going to refute the law of identity. Your words don't mean anything.
Nobody's refuting the law of identity. You're making that up.
Does the law of identity exist?
Not physically, no.
But it exists.
I mean, it depends on how you define existing. That's what we talked about earlier. And you
Yeah,
define
yeah.
existence as it
You,
containing
you
things
agree
that are
that it exists.
metaphysical or not or supernatural. And I'm saying I don't
I
subscribe to
didn't say
that.
anything about supernatural. You've been straw manning me
Okay,
the
so
entire fucking time.
how can you
I said
even then what is it?
transcendental.
If something is non-physical and transcendental, what is it? Is that
It's a
supernatural?
no. It exists in the mind
How can you prove it exists in the mind? How can you identify where
because
a
you're
mind is?
using it right now.
How do you know where a mind is? Can
You're
you point it
using
out
it
to
right
me?
now. It exists by
That's not an
using it.
answer. That's not an answer.
It's called a performative
You don't get to
contradiction.
say you don't get to tell somebody, "Hey, you're using it," with no proof. Like you got to show
Okay,
proof that I'm using my mind.
why are you talking to me?
Uh, Good question.
Yeah, no, why are you talking to me? Why are you using words that identify with things? Every word, every
Feel
time you
like
say
it?
a word, that word has a meaning to you. And that meaning is its identity. You're using, and that identity is unique to that word. It doesn't mean doesn't have 32 fucking identities at the same time. And the
Okay.
opposite of that word can't
Nobody's
also
arguing
exist.
with
Stop
that.
talking
You
over me.
just keep saying the
Stop
same
talking
thing. I
over
don't know
me.
why.
Stop talking over me, you
You say the
simple
same
fuck.
thing 100 times in
Stop
a
talking
row.
over me. I'm going to go to the law
Get
of
to your point.
non-contradiction. So if you said the words you say can't mean the opposite what you say and be true too,
Yeah, nobody
right?
said that.
Okay. You're using it.
Okay.
So you're in it
You're
to
claiming that
art.
I'm
You can't
using the
argue
law of
against the law
identity,
of
okay?
identity, dude. You have to use the law of identity to argue against it. You have to
Okay, so
use the
how
law of non-contradiction to argue
is it
against
like a
it.
tool that I pick up and I use? Like I don't understand. What do you
It's a
mean by use?
transcendental category that exists in human minds so that we can communicate and interact with the fucking world.
Okay, and what does transcendental mean?
It exists in the
Waiting.
mind.
What does transcendental mean?
It exists in the mind.
That's what transcendental
What
means?
does anything mean? You don't even believe
What
in the
does
law of identity.
transcendental mean? It's a word you keep using over and over. Now you can't define it?
I said I did define it. I said that
Okay,
means it
what is
exists in
it?
the mind.
Let's
It
see.
exists in the mind.
And where can you show me that a mind exists?
You're talking to me, right?
Okay, how does speech imply that I have a mind or that you have a mind?
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. How does speech well, I guess in your case it doesn't imply you have a mind. In your case.
And you're also I'm looking at the definition of transcendental and you're wrong. Transcendental is implied to be beyond empirical, physical, or rationally expressible concepts. That doesn't mean in the mind. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that
wrong
is the
about the
mind.
word you kept using over and over. So maybe you don't use it unless
No,
you
it
know what it
exists in the
means.
mind. It exists within the mind, dude.
Okay.
How do you apprehend anything that's not in the physical world except
How
within
do
the
I
mind?
apprehend? What are you
Yeah,
talking about? I'm not
apprehend.
apprehending anything. What
Not
are you
in that
talking about?
context. So that's a word context fallacy.
What fallacy are you talking about? What do you
Word
say? You said
context
apprehend.
fallacy. It does
Okay, what is a
that
word
apprehend
context
not in that
fallacy?
context.
What context then? What are you talking about?
God.
What
To
context? You
under
don't need, dude, you're
apprehend, to
lost, bro.
understand or perceive.
To understand or perceive what?
Oh my God. You apprehend to perceive. Look, to perceive okay. So transcendental categories are they exist in the mind. Okay. What you're
Okay.
perceiving is, in this case, the law of identity. Right. Right.
No, I'm not perceiving the law of identity. What are
Then
you
why are you
talking
speaking to
about?
me?
What are you talking
Then
about,
why are
bro?
you
What
speaking
are
to
you
me?
even saying?
Are you really this dumb?
I'm wondering
Every
if
word,
you have any idea of anything
every
that you've
word
been
you're
talking about.
saying
You're
assumes the
literally
law
just
of
like
identity.
rambling.
No, every word you're saying, when you try to refute any sentence I say, or make any affirmative claim, or say anything, you're using the law of identity.
The law of identity is a descriptor of a real phenomena. It is not the phenomena. Like you're so
It is
caught
not a
up in like the
descriptor.
concept. You're so caught up in the
No.
concept in the title that you're losing track of
No,
the
I'm
fact
talking
that
about
it
a
is
law of
just a
logic.
descriptor.
Logic exists in the human mind. It
Okay,
doesn't exist in
logic is a descriptive tool we use to
logic
describe our
is not
reality.
descriptive.
Okay. All right.
We
I
use
disagree with
logic to
you.
make
I'm not going to argue with
evaluations.
you, bro. There's
We
no
use
point arguing with somebody
we
that says
use
logic
logic
is
to
not
make
descriptive.
evaluations.
There's no point in arguing with somebody that says logic is not descriptive.
It's not.
Okay, why not?
Okay. First of all, that would be infinite regress in the first place. But it's not descriptive. It's a tool the mind uses to make evaluations of what the truth is.
Okay, how does the mind use it?
Okay, it applies the laws of logic, the rules, right, to figure out what the truth is.
So then what is logic if it's not descriptive?
Oh my god.
This is you're like, it's getting difficult because you're like too stupid to comprehend.
Dude, I already told you I was done with this. You keep dragging this shit
No.
out. I already told you we
Done with what,
disagree, and
dude?
you can't
The
let it
word
go. We
done doesn't even
disagree.
mean anything. Every
Look, we
word you say
disagree.
has
End
no
of
meaning.
discussion. You can talk about the flat
You
earth or
can
talk about
disagree.
whatever, but you
You
don't
can
want to
disagree
drop
all
it.
you want. You're just too birth,
Okay,
bro.
I'm going to, and I do disagree with you.
Okay,
So
but
if you can't
I just
handle
want to
that,
point out that you
if you
refuted
can't
yourself
handle that,
when you
then you're like,
listen. I
then
want
you're
to
being
point out
very
that you
immature.
already refuted the whole part of this argument.
Look,
Was you
nobody
said
wants to
what
hear you
exists,
talk about this shit anymore.
prove
Like
something
everybody's
exists
ready for
that's
this
not
to be done.
physical, and you conceded the laws of logic are not physical and don't exist in the physical world.
Oh, so you're
And
one of those guys, like, you can't
and
read a
you
room.
can
Everybody's telling you to shut up, and you're just sitting here being like, no, I
nobody's
have to
telling me
get the
to shut
last
up,
word.
dude.
I have
You're
to get
just
the last word.
embarrassed.
I have to
You're
get the
just
last word.
embarrassed. You're
I'm
just
not. I don't
embarrassed.
want to talk to you about this. Like, we just
You're
fundamentally
embarrassed.
disagree.
You're
What am I
embarrassed
embarrassed about?
because you conceded already 5 minutes ago.
No, I didn't.
You did.
You're crazy.
You said the logic
You're
don't
too
exist in
stupid
physics.
to realise it, dude.
You
That's the
conceded
point.
5
This
minutes
guy's a
ago
retard.
when
You're
you
right.
said the
This guy
laws of
is too
logic.
stupid. That's why
When
I'm
you
not
said
even
the
bothering
laws
to
of
talk
logic,
to him.
dude, when you said the laws of logic don't exist in the physical world, you conceded.
No, I mean, anyways, I told you I don't
No,
want to talk
dude.
to you about this
Too
anymore.
stupid to
I'm done with
realise.
this. Yeah, he is. You're right.
No, we
That's
should
why I'm
move
just
on
trying
to
to.
you
That's
to
why I'm just
somebody
trying to
else,
drop
dude.
it.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
No.
We should move on for you to somebody else. Well, I'm just going to mute you so we can have a conversation with somebody who understands what's
I've
going
been
on.
done talking. I don't know why you act like.
Then stop talking.
He's stopping. That's a perfect example of someone that should not reproduce ever. Well, like, I don't mind if you reproduce, it's just you shouldn't raise the children.
Thank fuck for that.
I came in on the back end of that, but that sounded painful.
Yeah, I mean, he's arguing against the existence of the law of identity. I told him, like, there's some things that exist, but they're not in the physical world. And he's like what? And I said, the law of identity. Then eventually we get to the point where he says, well, yeah, the law of identity exists, but it's not physical. Like, yeah, okay. But I didn't mention it at the time, but he conceded right there. By saying the law of identity doesn't exist, it's not physical. You would have to say the law of identity doesn't exist while you're using it, which you can't say. And to support his argument, it can only exist in the physical world, which it doesn't. So he's like a materialist atheist. Ain't that right, Simple Jim? You're a materialist atheist that thinks things only exist in the physical world.
Just call him Simple Dick. What's up,
Hey, what's up, AJ? How you been?
AJ, how'd you know those? It's
Sorry.
me,
Good,
Ninja.
man. Good. How about
Good,
yourself?
awesome. Oh, pretty good. I haven't heard you talk in a while, so I'll say what's up.
No, I've been listening a bit. Yeah. Just been a bit of a hard situation. I'm quite busy at the moment, so
Yeah,
I've
me
just
too.
been
That's
more
why I haven't
listening
been
in.
around. Yeah, we're like ships passing
Yeah.
in the night, right? So I haven't been on late night in a while. So, like, just want to say what's up. Who knows when it'll happen again? So,
Yeah. No, I'm just about to move as well, so I've got to move across Australia. So that's a bit of a mission. I got a 3,500 k drive to do next week.
What the heck?
God, like, dude, like you could be moving 3K, dude. I hate moving, dude. I'm so sick of moving.
Yeah, yeah. I'm done with it too. This will be the last time. So yeah, we've just bought a new house in Queensland, sold everything where we are in New South Wales, and settles on the 23rd. So I'm going to do my first trip. It's about 3,000 k's each way. So I'll do one trip and then back to where I am in New South Wales, and then probably do another one in the middle of winter and one at the end of winter, and then we'll be up there.
You
Bit of a
you
mission
bringing all
going
your
on.
crap? You just buy new stuff.
A lot of new stuff, yeah. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff. But yeah, this trip I got to go up for settlement and just take everything that we're not currently using that we're going to keep. And then, yeah, there we go. Can't wait. Yeah, this
Guys,
cold.
the thing about moving is it's when you realize how much shit you have that you don't really need.
Yes, yes, 100%. And you do it all the time. Like, I think the worst thing for us is that a juicer, yeah? You're like, oh, I'd love some fresh juice. You go and buy this juicer. There's a million friggin' parts to it. You throw it in the cupboard. You never use it again. Then you end up getting rid of it. And then one day you just go, oh, fuck, I'd love a juice. We should get a juicer. The same thing happens over again. I got
Yeah.
another one to get rid of.
Those blades are like impossible to clean, man. I don't know if they've improved the design, but I used to own one. I don't know, like 20 years ago. Cause like the blade for the juicer is like, if you don't have a dishwasher, those fucking things like washing those by hands, fuck that. That thing's got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going this time.
What's up, chat?
We're live, bro.
I was just gonna ask that. I'm gonna quickly plug tomorrow's show. Looking to do a show tomorrow in 24/7, guys,
What's the
on
time?
how to yap in the VC. Time? Hmm. You guys are usually popping off in the morning when I get going in the morning. But I'd like to start it pretty early. If not tonight. But I don't. That's gonna be tricky because we're gonna have to get the bot over there and then have everyone move and stuff. It's kind of tricky. But I'd like to organize that at some point. So just want to
What's
let
it called?
everyone know now. Hmm?
What were you calling it? That's a yap. Is that what you said?
I don't know if I'm gonna call it that, but I mean, that's the
No,
idea. Is to sort of
we just called those dudes in from Chill Chat the other night, mate. They're fucking master at making
master
yappuccinos.
yappers. That's
Yeah, the other
funny.
two the other night. Don't you remember them?
I think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I just think it'd be a fun show to put together. So I think we should try it. So tomorrow, be on the lookout. Thinking, yeah, man. If you guys just be ready to hop over there, is all. It's hard because there's a lot of ninjas in here. We're gonna have to slide them over. But yeah, just look out for. If you don't have a link, get it now and get your brooms ready. We're gonna go over to 24/7 chat. Not necessarily. We don't have to do it tonight, but tomorrow. I got a little bit of time before I get into some 304 activities, but I'd like to do that show, give back to the community, go back to 24/7, and then
Oh
go from there.
no,
Welcome,
you're gonna dip on us
Cameron.
right in the middle.